Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I am Sean Anderson, Most Valuable Podcast, and the upcoming segment is from our full Fast Break podcast that we recorded. And if you do want to check out that full podcast, head over to Blog Talk Radio /The Fast Break. You'll be able to find the full podcast over there.
This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is a Fast Break Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, as always, is Ricky Wimmer.
What's up, guys?
And Dave Oster.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you for leaning back for the finger guns. I just had to thank
I
you.
gotta clear the road for the finger guns for the What's Up Nation.
And today, we're talking about Russell Westbrook. Should he be the NBA MVP? Secured the triple-double for the season. Is still one triple-double away, as of recording this, of breaking the single-season record that Oscar Robertson set back in 1961. We're also going to be talking about the Magic and the NBA draft, and we're going to be talking about the best centers in the NBA draft. So it should be a fun podcast, should be an absolute blast. But let's get into Russell Westbrook, because huge neose. Obviously securing the triple-double for the season in 2016-2017, and being the second man to ever do that. Oscar Robertson being the first back in 1961-62. So is it as impressive as it sounds, Ricky? Is it impressive as Russell Westbrook becoming the second NBA player, or do you think it's kind of bloated? Because some people are saying that he was, padding his stats and teammates were letting him grab rebounds.
I mean, it's impressive in the fact to me where it's like, yes, okay, you go out there and you're setting this the triple-double record, and he's one game away from it, and you've tied it. Personally, it's like, yes, that is cool. But for me, this entire season, I haven't cared about it. I haven't cared about it at all, because it's one of those things where it's like, of course you'd expect Russ to do that because of the team he's on. And it's one of those things where, of course you expect him to play like this because Kevin Durant's not there and he feels like he's got to show something.
Dave, one thing before you jump in, we did say that he was probably going to average it jokingly to start the season, and then he did it.
I did not jokingly say it. I called 2 triple-doubles, and I was damn close to getting them both.
Okay, so you're just calling 2 random triple-doubles in a game?
No, I called James Harden and Russell Westbrook. You can go back to before the season started. I said both of them could average a triple-double this year.
Okay, but you didn't say they would. You said could.
I don't know what I said. We'll have to go back and check the video archive.
Lame language. But what I'm saying is we were talking about it like it could actually happen.
Oh, yeah. I was very positive.
And now that it did happen, are you surprised?
I'm surprised that he was able to maintain it the whole season. Unlike Ricky, this is a super impressive feat that I am super impressed with, because I'm sorry, for a man who is playing on a team with as little talent as he is the driving force. He's their energy, and he is doing it every single night.
You should expect it.
From
Russell Westbrook, then you should
hurts.
expect it from him. Because he's able to go out there and do it, and he doesn't have anything around him.
It's incredible that he's able to do it every night, though. It's incredible that he's able to keep the same passion, the will to win that he has, the drive, him out on that court. And the thing is, it's not just like
Is it the will
padding.
to win, or is it the will to score more points?
Oh, it's that killer instinct. It's that Kobe, Michael Jordan shit. It's drawn from the same vein.
Except he's like bottom half of the West.
Well, the problem is when you don't have a team around you, you're going to have some problems trying to win games.
I mean, you look back at Oscar's triple-double season on the Cincinnati Royals. He did have 2 other Hall of Famers on it. There's not 2 Hall of Famers on this Thunder team.
You don't say.
LeBron had a crap team in Cleveland. He still got top seeds
East
early on.
That was in the East.
That was a long time ago, too. That was a different NBA, too.
It was, but the point being, he didn't average triple-double.
I'm not saying he did.
Come
I'm
close
still
to doing
saying
that.
he still got his team.
But he's the best player in basketball, Ricky. Well, shouldn't he average a triple-double on a bad team? That's what you're saying?
Well, no.
Because you're a great player, you should just do it.
I'm going to the point where you said the whole will to win and like that. And it's one of those things where this is, if you're looking statistically, almost couldn't get that out of my mouth. Statistically, it is a great feat. No one is taking that away from Russell Westbrook. But I look at this and go, I don't care about Russell Westbrook as the individual, because I want to look at the team, and the big thing that matters to me is, are you going to win a title? No. Are you going to even probably compete in the playoffs? Probably not.
Well,
you might win a game or 2, but you might not even make it out of the first round.
Let's get into that the whole team idea, because obviously the team is worse than where they were last year at making this Western Conference, giving the Warriors hell in that Western Conference Finals, and then obviously KD leaving and joining the Warriors. Pretty much West is on an island. They got Oladipo, but he hasn't been the guy that they really wanted him to be that second guy, to be a guy who was close to being an all-star. You brought in Taj Gibson, Doug McDermott, but those guys aren't up to the caliber that KD left, and really you take off Russell Westbrook off of this team. This team is a bottom half of the NBA.
You also lost Serge Ibaka.
You also lost Serge as well. So, so taking him off and taking off all the players that you lost and then bringing it back, you didn't even level out those two teams. So if you take off Russ off this team isn't even close to the playoffs. They're easily the 6th seed now. So how is that not impressive that Russ has pretty much won them? I wouldn't say every single game, but Russ has been the reason why they've won as many games as they have.
Well, to me, because
on
it's
the
one of
floor,
those
it's a complete
things
different
where
team.
it's one of those where, of course, it's like Russell Westbrook is so good. Them making the playoffs with Russell Westbrook was not a question. It wasn't a question, but I look at it and go, like, it doesn't get me excited. It doesn't get me excited to see another triple-double. I would rather see what I'm seeing over in the East, where LeBron's going to be the first player to average, 25 points, 8.5, and then shoot over 50 for the entire year. I look at that and go, holy shit, no one's ever done that before.
Yeah, but
Oscar Robertson
efficiency.
has done this
But that was a
before.
different NBA. He was playing 40-something minutes a game. He averaged like 20 more possessions a game. Like,
and
it's apples to oranges.
I'm not
Played 44.3
I'm not
minutes per game.
saying that his was
Russ
more
is a
impressive.
34.
I'm not saying that his is more impressive. I look at the
If we're
LeBron
cherry-picking
stat line,
stats-
and I go, to me, because it all comes down to the
LeBron
ultimate
is more
question of
efficient.
this.
I will not deny that.
I think that this is if we're having a most outstanding player conversation, yes, Russell Westbrook has been the most outstanding player this year.
Yeah.
But overall, I think an MVP, LeBron James.
Well, if we're going to cherry pick stats here, Rudy Gobert, I think, is the first player in NBA history with 2,000 points, over 500 blocks, and I think it's, let me see the rebound stats, over 2,000 rebounds as well. So 2,000 points, 2,000 rebounds, and 500 blocks. So should he be the MVP as well?
Just because you're the
he's
first to
had
ever
a
do
fantastic-
something
No,
doesn't mean...
I'm saying, but this is something where I look
James
at...
Harden's the
I
most
look at
first ever
20
player with 2,000 points scored and then 2,000 points accounted for an
I
assist.
look at 25, 8.5, and shooting over 50%. And to me, that screams more complete player than, hey, I got 41 triple-doubles this season.
Okay, but if you take off LeBron off of the Cavs, that team's still going to be a top 4 team in the East. That team's not going to be number 1 where they currently are, but that team's still a top 4 team in the East. You take off Russ off of the Thunder, that team is bottom
You're
of the half
looking
of the
at the
West.
Nets minus Jeremy Lin.
Without
And
Russell
Brook
Westbrook
Lopez,
on the floor,
probably.
they are the 76ers.
They're
That
worse.
is what they do.
They're worse.
Statistically, they line up with the 76ers. So I don't see how he's not the most valuable player. You can debate which one is more impressive, whether LeBron doing what he is doing, 25 points per game, 8 and shooting over 50%. But then again, he has Kyrie Irving, who's able to create space for him. He's got two knockdown shooters in Irving and Kyrie. Irving and Love. He's got
and Kevin
JR
Love,
as
yeah.
well. He's got Kyle Korver, who was unreal when he came over. He's got a more complete team there, and we're not arguing that LeBron James is a better player. I mean,
Yeah, we
LeBron
all
James is the
know,
best
But
player
this
in the NBA.
this gets back to the conversation that we even had. What was it? Was it last year we had the
Might have been last
conversation
year, yeah.
of, the unanimous MVP? And people are like, oh, well, is Steph Curry really the unanimous MVP? LeBron is the MVP. That's what this is. It all comes back to whoever's having the hot season versus LeBron, because let's be honest, LeBron should probably
LeBron
win
is
the
a
MVP
benchmark.
each year.
LeBron,
each year should
LeBron
probably
is the
be
best
MVP.
player, but it's not the best player award. It's the most valuable player. So it's who is the most valuable to their team's success.
Yep.
I would say that Russell Westbrook is the most valuable person to his team's success, because if Russ is off that team, they are not a playoff team. The Rockets might not be a playoff team without James Harden, so that's why I think he's 2 and LeBron's 3, because LeBron without the Cavs without LeBron, they're not a finals team.
They're not a championship team.
No, they're not.
without
But they're
LeBron.
still a playoff team.
And that's the thing where Harden and Westbrook fall short, is even if you take even with them on the team, they're probably not even championship contenders.
Again, we're not saying that
Yeah.
LeBron isn't the best player in the
We're
NBA,
saying they
because
go
we all
from a
say he is.
championship contender
No.
to a playoff team versus a playoff team to a team with 10 wins.
And I think that with the Cavs going from best in the East and title contender to top 4 and not title contender is just as big as a gap.
To the I think let's get into this. Ricky, who is your MVP?
LeBron James.
If you had a vote, it's
LeBron James.
And why?
LBJ.
And pretty much give out 3 reasons why.
To me, it's what I said. Without the Cavs, without him on the Cavs, they're not winning the title. We're not even talking about the Cavs winning the title like we are right now. We're not saying like, oh, book it, they're in the finals. To me, that gap of title to top 4, no title, is a similar gap from a 6 seed to not being in the playoffs. Second, I look at, like I said, the first player, 25, 8.5, and over 50%. That to me is efficiency each and every night, and it's not one of those flash in the pan, whoa, look at what LeBron did. It's over a constant season of this is my body of work, where Russell Westbrook has been, it's more sensational. It's more brought up for the triple-double.
LeBron does take off nights.
And I look at LeBron. Well, that is a knock. I mean, what did Dennis Rodman say? You never would see MJ taking off nights. But I would go with, for me, I would go, if I had to give a top 3, LeBron wins my MVP, Russ comes in second, Harden's 3.
Okay, so your 3 points, though, for LeBron, just to lay them out, the 25, 8, and 8.
Mm-hmm. Them being a title contender with him. Mm-hmm. And then also, he is the best player in the game and brings so much more than just what I'm saying in the stat sheet.
We definitely can't, argue number 3.
But that's a 3-point that you got to put in there.
Dave, yours is Russell Westbrook?
Yeah. It's hard to argue. You say 25, 8.5, 31, 10
and shooting over 50%. Don't forget that too.
And he's allowed to shoot more than 50% because he can take his own shots. He has the choice to do that. Russ has to force shots to will his team to win.
He doesn't have to force shots.
If he doesn't force shots, who's going to take shots?
I mean, 6 of 25 last night against the Suns.
Yeah, that was a terrible game.
And then people were saying he's pad statting, but he was like, no, I was shooting 6 of 25. I wasn't shooting efficiently. I had to pass it off.
Yeah, I mean, he knows when he hits that line. But the thing is, it's like, look, this is a guy who is dragging a team kicking and screaming of untalented, now I'll say untalented because they're all talented, top 600 players in the world. But like, these guys, this is not how you build out a team around a player. Like, what they have in Houston is beautiful. They have a system, they have a key player, and then they have role players. That's how it should be. That's what the Cavs have. What they have in Oklahoma City is a dumpster fire. They've got Russell Westbrook and no one who can, like Sean said, no one who can create their own shot. I mean, they have one of the best defensive, I don't even know what to call him. He's just one of the best defensive players in the league who can't hit a free throw. I think he's shooting like 50% from the free throw line. It's just absolutely ridiculous how poor shooting this team is. So when you talk about Russ's efficiency, I have to counter with the fact that he doesn't have a choice in it. The thing is, when Russ is averaging, or when Russ is hitting that triple-double, when he's doing that, his team is killing it. They're winning. I think they were like, 34-6, 34-7 or something like that when he hits that triple-double. I mean, the pure will to win, the way he forces his team into games, and he doesn't give up, and he's one of the most clutch players in the NBA. Right now, this season, he is, I don't remember the numbers, but I remember reading it this week, and he has a better shooting percentage, and he has more points in the last 4 minutes over James Harden, LeBron James. It's just, he's having the most clutch year. He's having the most points, or not most points, but just all around. And what can't he do?
The thing I want to throw out there before you give yours, Sean, is so we're basically going to give him the MVP because he has no team around him.
We're not saying
if he had no team around him and he played poorly.
No.
But he's playing like the best player in the league.
So we're gonna take a step off of LeBron and even James Harden, like you said, because since they have teams, they're going to be below Russell Westbrook. That's what you're saying.
No,
it's all because he's playing at this level without a team. I think it's a bonus with a team.
I'm not taking anything away from these. Sorry, I'm not taking anything away from these guys. I'm saying it gives more credence to the fact that he can drag a team into the playoffs with as little skill around him versus what James Harden is doing versus what LeBron James is doing, where they have teams that are built for that playoff run. They are well-established teams.
Right now, there's the stat VORP, which is value over replacement player. Mm-hmm. Right now, Russell Westbrook leads the NBA in that with 12. Right now, LeBron sits at 7.1. So there's a huge discrepancy right there. Shoot. If you take off Russell Westbrook off this team, again, they are not even a playoff team.
No, and
they are
that's-
bottom of the league.
And that's
They
exactly
are
what I'm
an
saying.
Awful team.
Because of the team that he has around him. I'm not saying that he's
No,
not playing.
but he makes them a playoff team.
But I'm not
LeBron does
saying-
not make them a playoff team. He makes them a championship team.
And to me, that is a huge gap too.
But do you
From
think
1
this
to 6
but
versus from.
Do you think this Cleveland Cavaliers team could make it to the finals with LeBron off it?
No.
You don't think that
No.
Kyrie Irving, Kevin
No.
Love,
I would pencil the
Tristan
Celtics
Thompson,
in for the finals.
But you don't think that the Cavs can at least without LeBron, you don't think they could take them to 7? You don't think they can give them
they
hell?
could take them to 7, but I would not
You don't think it
pencil
would be
them in for the
competitive?
finals.
But you don't think it would be as
It
competitive
would
right
be
now?
it would be competitive, but it's one of those things where right now with LeBron, we easily from the beginning of the season went Warriors Cavs. Just fast forward to June without LeBron, we're going, well, it's the Warriors and who do you think's going to win the East, guys?
Okay.
That's what it is
But
without
there's
LeBron, and I just feel like the conversation is basically, and yet again, I want to say I don't want to take anything away from Russ because what he's doing is an accomplishment and he should feel proud for the accomplishment. But I feel like the
just give him a
conversation
pat
is
on the
being
back.
well, no, I feel like the conversation is being, well, LeBron and Harden are good, but because he doesn't have a
No.
team with what he's doing, that's why he's
No,
MVP.
no. That's not the discussion at all. Because right now, Russell Westbrook and James Harden, there's a discussion of who should be the MVP.
Yep.
It's Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James. This is not going to be a unanimous decision. This is not going to be, Steph Curry easily. There's definitely going to be people who vote for Kawhi Leonard. There's definitely going to be people who vote for LeBron James. There's going to be people who vote for James Harden. There's going to be people for Russell Westbrook. And I think there's valid arguments for all of them. Russ being the first player to average a triple-double since Oscar Robertson back in 1961, 1962. James Harden leading the Rockets to the 3rd seed right now to a team that's had the most three-pointers made in a season, has had only 2 games without 7 or less assists, which is absolutely unreal, averaging 29 points per game and leading the league in assists. You also look at LeBron James for the reasons you mentioned, 25 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 8.5 assists, shooting over 50%, leading the best team in the East. And then Kawhi Leonard, defensive monster, offensive monster, leading the Spurs to the second team in the second seed in the West right now. So there's 4 valid arguments, and I'm not saying there's not. I just think that Russell Westbrook pulls himself away because you look at the stat line and you look what he does on a nightly basis for the Oklahoma City Thunder. When he is on the court, they are a playoff team. When they are not, they are top 3 in the lottery. They are not a good team at all. This team is not even getting over 25 wins per game. Right now, they're sitting around 40 or something around that. They're sitting at least 6th in the Western Conference. This is a team that is going to make the playoffs, and this is a team that might win the first round because I don't know exactly what's going to happen between the Rockets and Thunder, but because of Russ's addition, it's going to be a phenomenal first-round matchup between James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and really who is going to be able to win that matchup for their team because while James Harden's fantastic, we've seen him get injured recently, and that's kind of taken the play down for the Rockets. So you see why he's so valuable to the Rockets. I don't think anyone's going to take away from it. I think it comes down to Westbrook and Harden because of the value they add to their team. I'm not saying LeBron James doesn't add value to his team. That they are the best team in the East because of LeBron James. We're not taking that away from him. But you need to look at what LeBron James is doing and who he's doing it with. With Kyrie Irving, who is a top 5 point guard in the NBA, this team, and you get so many opportunities and so many options on open looks and in assist numbers because you have Kyrie Irving, you have Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, Kyle Korver,
Channing
Shumpert
Frye
as well, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson. There's so many weapons on that team. You look at Westbrook, and he's making these opportunities for guys like Oladipo, for guys like Jeremy Grant, who can't even shoot a 3. I mean, he's creating opportunities for these players.
And you know what? This will be, when you asked earlier, what's your points for who you're selecting? I'll give you another one. This is the last thing I'll have on it. Last night, as we're recording this podcast on Saturday, the Thunder lost to the Phoenix Suns, who are right now the number, the number 2 pick in the draft. They lost 120 to 99. Yep. They lost by 21 points. Were the only 2 times the Cavs have lost that much. The Golden State Warriors, who are the Golden State Warriors, and then they lost to the Heat, but who wasn't playing that game? LeBron James.
Okay, and then look at last night where LeBron James was on the floor and that team wasn't even trying against the bench players of the Atlanta Hawks, where Mike Muscala, Tim Hardaway were lighting up the Cavs defense in transition. I mean, Westbrook has never given up. That team lost to the Suns because, A, the Suns were playing their best basketball, literally saying, we don't want Russ to do this. And then also, Westbrook went 6 of 25 because, again, he was forcing shots, and he had so many open looks and gave so many open looks to his teammates, but they shot 22% as a team from 3 and 36% from the field against the Suns. The Suns were playing phenomenal defense, were out-rebounding. Even the Phoenix Suns broadcast were saying, I've never seen them show this much hustle on rebounds. They don't want them to get the rebounds. This Suns team came to play, and Westbrook just couldn't do what he can, and there's no one to pick up the slack behind him. Where if LeBron has an off night, Kyrie can pick it up in the first quarter and second quarter, then LeBron can be like, all right, I have my mojo, they're on Kyrie, now I can get going. He has players to take him off him, where what Russ has to do it completely by himself, and I think that's why, at least for me, it goes Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James, because LeBron has those safeguards.
You'd even
and
put
Kyrie
James
Irving.
Harden up?
29 points,
LeBron?
11 assists, third team in the West, the most
I
three-pointers.
think that's the easiest, is to put Harden third.
No.
I think this is a conversation.
No.
For me,
No.
it's a conversation between LeBron and Russ.
Harden is
What Harden's
unreal.
doing is pretty unreal. I mean, that's, again, Russ with the triple-double. Harden's not far off of that, but what Harden's doing is special because of watching a player transition from a shooting guard to a point guard, someone who is now, the ball's in his hand 99% of the time, and he's doing what people thought he couldn't, because everybody's like, oh, he's a super selfish player. This won't work. We're going to watch it fail. But under the Mike D'Antoni offense, we're watching him distribute the ball so well. He's out there leading the league in assists right now, heavily due to his penetration, creating open shots for his team. He's able to swing it open or throw oops down low. Like, he has better court vision than anyone ever expected, because all we saw out of James Harden was the beard and the shot, and that's all he has. And then it was just like, this guy draws fouls, he gets to the line, he's so beneficial for your team because he can put people at risk, and then he just gets everybody wide open shots.
And if we want to talk about efficiency, true shooting percentage is very similar to LeBron James right now, both around 61%. Their VORP right now, Harden has a better VORP right now, obviously leading the league in assists, 29 points per game. And yes, they're not the number one team in the East right now like the Cavs are. But then again,
Well, the West.
Sorry. But then again, we expected the Cavs to be at a huge lead right now over the Celtics and the Raptors and Wizards. But right now, it's so close between the Celtics and Cavs. And yes, I think like it's 75% chance that the Cavs will still end up as the number one seed. But it's still a close
the Rockets
distance
have more
right there.
wins than the Cavs, if you want to go just by that.
And you also look at the Rockets right now, they're playing in a tougher conference, and they're playing against the Warriors and Spurs, and still we've had the conversations, can the Rockets defeat the Warriors or Spurs? And they would only be able to do that because of James Harden. You wouldn't talk about can the Cavs beat the Celtics because of LeBron James. No, they'll win because of LeBron James, because LeBron James has just a great team around him because he makes so many players different great. We're not saying that LeBron James is the best player in the NBA, but this isn't the best player in the NBA because LeBron James win it every year.
I say it's that Michael Jordan thing. As long as you're in the league, you are the best player. And the one thing that you kind of reminded me of when you're talking about how much LeBron James kind of wills his team to win. It's like, there's that extra gear, that playoff LeBron that he kicks out every year. And it's just like, we watch it happen in the playoffs.
It's coming.
And we watched it happen when he dead-dicked the Celtics a couple nights ago. And the thing is, that intensity is the same thing that Russ brings, but he brings that damn near every night. That's the thing, is Sean said it. It's not like LeBron James is taking nights off while he's out there. It's just he doesn't have to go as hard because he has teammates around him who can let him not be the dominant force at all times, but if he needs to, he can bust it out.
Yeah, for me, I look at it and I go, LeBron James is my MVP, although I will say Russ is my second, and it's not like a huge gap between them, but LeBron's my MVP.
I also think I think Russ should win it. I think he will end up winning it, and I think you make great points about LeBron. I think you do. And
is it kind of funny that
you're defending him?
Rewind this a year ago, and like I was the one on the
Throwing
You know
headsets.
what? It's Steph Curry is the unanimous MVP. LeBron is just a baby, and now I'm defending him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's very weird because especially how many times he's knocked your team out of the playoffs. But I think you make
my team hasn't been that good.
back in the day.
Maybe that one series.
But anyways, I think you make valid points about LeBron. And again, he's still the best player in the NBA. But again, this isn't the best player in the NBA again. And I think the history of what Russ has done, I think that's another reason why he will end up winning it. My vote is for Russell Westbrook. Again, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, LeBron James is my 1, 2, 3 if I had a vote. And you're the same.
I
right?
agree with you completely, Sean.
And you're LeBron.
I'm LeBron, Russ, and then Harden.
And I think even Kawhi Leonard should even get a mention because he's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year, leading the Spurs to second in the West and averaging around 25 points per game. And we see his offensive game really take up. This is a fantastic discussion. Let us know who you think is the MVP down below in the comments because we know you guys are going to be very vocal. We know you guys are going to bring a ton of stats that we didn't mention. We know we're going to have a heated debate because for some reason people like to discredit Russ, discredit James, discredit LeBron. There's obviously people saying that his teammates are allowing Russ to grab so many boards as he is because
it's a strategy.
Off of free throws, they
strategy.
all clear out and then Russ comes in.
It sets him up for the fast break better. Let's Russ get the ball in his hands first.
Sure, it also gets him some more rebounds so he can get some triple doubles.
Which would you rather have? A big man who doesn't have great hands going for a rebound?
Guys,
whoever
or
can
Russ.
grab the
I'm ending
board.
the segment. Tell us who you think is the MVP down below because, again, no answer is truly wrong because all these three guys are having fantastic seasons. So tell us in the comments down below. Do you agree with me and Dave? Do you agree with Ricky? I was going to call you Rave. Do you agree with Ricky? Tell us in the comments down below. Thank you. Oh, shit. It's just one of our videos scared me a little bit. Don't forget to check out that one. And also don't forget to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.